We became friends, then, later, lovers. I do not know what she liked in me because I did not have much to offer. I had no home, no clothes, and no money, but I had hope. Welcome back to another episode based on the book Lessons of My Early Life by Dr. Charles Apoki. To get the book, please check the links in the description. You can also get both hard and soft copies on Amazon. Be inspired as you listen, and don't forget to purchase your copy using the links in the description. I met Felicia sometime around 1980 when we were on holiday from medical school. I was living with my late friend in Warri. I cannot really recall what attracted me to her, but she was a friend and classmate of my friend's younger sister, Christy. The first question I asked her was what she wanted to become in life. I cannot remember her answer, but I can still remember where she was sitting. I suspect she said she wanted to become a teacher. Even though I was young at 21, I had started thinking about the kind of woman I would like to marry. Sexual issues were freely discussed in my household and in the morally loose environment in which we lived. I had become sexually active and immoral at a very early age, while still in primary school. By the time I was in secondary school, I had known and done things I should not have been involved in. By the time I met Felicia, I have had some relationships. I was not innocent, but I was sincere. Before I set out for her home, I told God that if the mission was not going to be of benefit to me, she should not agree to my proposal. Remember, I was a lousy unbeliever praying to God. I told her point blank that I wanted somebody I would grow up with and marry, and that I was coming back for an answer. She has not answered till today, but I married her, and we are still married many years after. We became friends, then later lovers. I do not know what she liked in me because I did not have much to offer. I had no home, no clothes, and no money, but I had hope. I had all the opportunities to be useless. I drank alcohol with my mother. She got to meet Felicia after I suspected that she had agreed to my proposal. My mother then lived in a mud house at Okere. There was no electricity and no running water. I had nothing to offer but hope. She did not know where I was from. Everybody called me Apoki, and I deceived her that I was from the north. I suspect she knew I was joking. She was very reserved and quiet. I never knew she could talk until now. The children and her workers are responsible for that, not me, I swear. She was so shy. I never knew she would turn out to be so sharp-eyed like an eagle. A woman is a book. You know what is in her not from the title or the cover, but as you open the pages and read them. You can never know the next chapter until you get to that page. You might need to meditate on what you are reading before you can make meaningful deductions. Right from the onset, I found out that she was ready to share anything she had with me. That spirit is traceable to her mother, who enjoys giving. Her elder sister welcomed me into her household and treated me with respect, but I never took things for granted. We never wanted to bring shame by behaving badly in public. I remember the night we went to watch a film, 4 of us, and she had to get home on time to avoid trouble. I was interested in her becoming a nurse, so I encouraged her to get the School of Nursing form, especially because we had a friend like an elder sister, Florence, who was studying nursing at UBTH then. She passed the entrance examination and gained admission. Before then, however, I remember that she did not get all her papers in the WAEC examinations. So I asked her to go back to school and sit for the examinations. She did and passed. It was after that she went to the School of Nursing at UBTH. I occasionally went to visit her because our academic schedules kept us in school most of the time. It was also a big relief for me because she was earning an allowance as a student, and sometimes, when things got very bad, she gave me some money. One day, we stood in front of UBTH, and the only money in my hand was 5 naira that she had withdrawn and given to me. As we walked towards the Lagos-Benin Express Road, I told her that I would want our children to have her facial features while having my brains. She told me that if she were in my shoes, she would have stopped school. I had hope. I had made up my mind to be a doctor. Nothing was going to stop me. I remember that during her first examination, I sent her a success postcard every day for nearly a month. I was excited by the fact that I had her as a future wife. I was very faithful to her, but some time later, the influence of companionship nearly destroyed the commitment I had towards her. I will spare you the ugly details. Since we got married in 1985, I have remained faithful to her. I found her early to be very reliable and focused. She is also very strong-willed, which I failed to notice initially. Once she is focused on an issue, she wants it concluded and done fast. She cannot tolerate postponement, laziness, or waste of time. I have learned to harness those strengths. My wife is a strong woman emotionally and physically. She can bear pain, stress, and hardship. She works harder than a man and would put any man on his toes when it comes to work. She also hates dirtiness and disorder. She wants things properly placed and neatly arranged. There are 3 things my wife hates most. 1 is lies. Never tell her lies. If she finds out, you are deleted from her list of responsible people. She hates houseflies. I do not know why. And she cannot tolerate human excrement. You cannot push my wife or intimidate her, no matter who you are, including me. I negotiate with her and convince her, or I leave her in the hands of God. He does it better than I do. We had very bitter quarrels and fights when I did not know how to manage this. For the first 5 years, we could not manage this difference in personality between us. My wife hates to beg or depend on people. I hear of women wearing other people's clothes to parties. Never would my wife do that. She is a good administrator of finances, so I let her manage our finances. But even if she has a large sum of money, she still expects me to pay for a bottle of soft drink, even if she would eventually buy something worth 1,000 times more for me. That is how women behave. They value the little things we do as husbands more than the big ones. My wife is not a good storyteller and has very few friends. I can only remember one, apart from me. Never speak evil of another person in my wife's presence as gossip. You will only end up reducing your value in her eyes. Duty is duty. Do not come and sit near her to chat if she has something to do. Do not be surprised if she leaves you to face her responsibility. This makes her the propeller of the engine of the home. Her closest business partner is our 3rd child, Ufuoma, who is also a recluse and a workaholic. They have a business partnership. She has an unlimited ability to forgive me. I am not the best of husbands. I am not very romantic, and I hardly buy gifts for her, but I love her. I was in a shopping mall in Europe with my eldest son, Mimi, when she called me on the phone and told me not to buy anything for her. I try my best sometimes. At least the dress she wore today, I bought it from Australia. I learnt early that Europeans marry those they love, but I have chosen to love the person I married. It is a command, a duty, and a responsibility. She would argue with me on as many subjects as possible. I usually got angry over it, but recently I discovered that she learns and adopts those things we initially argued over. So, when I make my point and the arguments continue, I have learnt to stop. You do not win arguments in marriage. It is of no benefit to anyone. My wife cannot tolerate any person, no matter how close, who attempts to take me for granted. You will see a lioness emerge from her if you mess with Yonvbe. That is what she calls me. But she has hardly ever told me that I am a great man. She is old school and not very romantic. I occasionally tell her that we are two business partners. I never seem to get enough of her. I have come to be addicted to her, but I have also not known her to be very romantic. So, we have our style, and it has worked for us. Every husband and wife must identify their strengths and weaknesses, harness their strengths, ameliorate their weaknesses, and make the best of their marriage. That you quarrel and even fight does not mean you have a bad marriage or that you are bad people. It might just be that you have not learned how to manage your challenges. After all, there was war in heaven. It does not make God bad or heaven bad. Resolve your crises with love and evolve your marriage. I nearly forgot to tell you that she is the best cook I know. This episode reflects on love, growth, and understanding in marriage. It shows that relationships are built not on perfection, but on commitment, patience, and continuous learning. True love is not just found, it is built over time through responsibility, sacrifice, and mutual respect. If this inspired you, kindly get your copy of the book using the links in the description and share it with someone who needs it. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Remember to check the links in the description to get your copy of Lessons of My Early Life. You can also get both hard and soft copies on Amazon. God bless you.